crafters, this is Raquel with Paints and Glitter, and I'm coming to you today with this gorgeous die set from Tonic Studios. It is called Delightful Decadence Hexagon Gift Box, and I'm going to be assembling this with you today so that you can see how it will look, and I'm inspired by this one right here. There are a few samples that you can follow, but I thought this was so very pretty, and I don't have a tendency to work with black cardstock, so I'm trying to push myself to try different color combinations because I just find them to be so very beautiful, and I do see that the pinks and the lighter colors are quite striking against that black background. So inspired by that, I'm going to go ahead and start. The great thing about this set is that it's quite simple. So using this simple shape here, you can cut the lid and the base pieces, and I've cut them out of this nice thick black cardstock, as you can see here. I've also gone ahead and cut another piece, which is this very light pink, and I'm actually going to be cutting away a tiny little bit of that to line the inside of the box. And I've used it one more time with this decorative piece here that is called a Verso die in the Tonic Studios world. And what that means is it will not cut the border, but as you can tell, you can place it on top of your shape and it will cut out a decorative portion, and I thought that was so very pretty. So I have those two, and again, those were created only using the hexagon shape and then that decorative piece. Using the largest die in this set, I've cut out this gorgeous burgundy paper, and these are all from Tonic Studios with the exception of the pink. So I've cut out this shape, and it's so very pretty and decorative on its own, but cutting out the papers with this decorative portion that will also layer with it, and then coupling it with that other hexagon shape that I shared with you in the beginning, you can cut out a frame. And how beautiful would this be in a mini album, right? However, I've gone ahead and used it to cut out this gorgeous paper, which is iridescent and is also from Tonic Studios, and I just love the holographic colors in it. It has it'll pick up light, and it's just so very beautiful. So I have every intention of using that as a layer. I forgot to mention also that using that regular hexagon shape, this one here, that I used to create that portion as well as these, I've also cut out this decorative layer, and this is specialty handmade cardstock from Tonic Studios, and I wish that you could feel this. I mean, it is so lush, and then it has all of these patterns that are just so very beautiful, and this comes in a variety of colors, and you can also use the back, so whichever side you prefer, of course, but you can use your Nuvo products on the back side. So if you wanted to combine this particular dark color with something else, you could always flip it over, color the back, and then use it accordingly. So I do have that. And then there are other pieces here, of course. Here's an even smaller one, also decorative and very beautiful. And you can use that to either cut a solid, but what I've done is I've coupled it with its decorative piece. And you see it here. I have this paper on double-sided adhesive, and I have every intention of doing inlay, so I left it on that backing, but I did use that outer piece as well as this piece here together. And here you see I've left it in there also because I don't want the little pieces to fall out, but if you took this out, you could see the background there, and it's all those tiny little pieces, but as you could tell, it didn't cut the border. You do need this one to cut that border out. So with those two together, I did cut into this paper. So that'll come in handy in a minute. I've cut out the panels that are going to be for the side using the simple dies. That gives you the base of the box. You'll need 6 of each. So there's 6 of this piece, 6 of that piece. You can tell one of them has a pretty scallop edge. The other one's just solid. And then using the little partners, as I would call them, I've cut out using this layer and this corresponding layer. I've cut out the burgundy shape here and then this one here. So you see the color combination I'm going with. And then coupling those very same dies with the decorative panels that look like this and like this, which you can use on their own into a background, or you can, of course, use them together. I've cut out these decorative pieces that I'll be using in this project. So you can imagine how elaborate you can make your design. It all depends on how you want to use this, but you can definitely keep it quite simple and only use solid panels. You don't have to use all the layers. Then last but not least, I have used these pieces here. It comes with a circle that's a simple circle in 2 sizes. That one and this one. I've used both of them individually to cut out a black circle with that, and also a black circle with a smaller one. Then using these two together, I've cut out this piece here, and it has a beautiful decorative, let me show you here, beautiful decorative edge there. So I've used those together for that. This smaller circle with one of the sentiments, the other one reads miss you. With this one it says with love, so I've gone ahead and cut that out, and to show you better, here it is. I've also cut it out of that beautiful color with that gorgeous paper from Tonic Studios. So I will have links below to this set if you're interested in picking it up. It won't cost you any more to use my affiliate links, but it'll give me a small commission just as a thank you for sharing with you the inspiration of what I can come up with. And of course, in this case, I went with someone else's example, but in any case, it'll help me bring better content to my channel, and I would truly appreciate it if you do click on the link for any purchases, whether it be for dies, for cardstock, as you see here, or for any adhesive. Speaking of adhesive, I will be using double-sided adhesive for a lot of this, but I'm also going to be using my Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive. This is a wonderful glue for 3D projects because it has a really awesome hold. But if you wanted to decorate on these papers, you can also use different pens of adhesive that are available through Tonic Studios, whether it be this really wide one, which if you haven't seen, does have a little ball in there you can shake, and then you can open this tip. I haven't opened mine just yet, but it does have a large nib, so I'll just quickly show you that. And as you can see, this entire surface will fill with glue. You just have to press on it to get it to flow. And then you can definitely use that to add a decorative border, say, on the paper and make it all even all the way around, and then use any kind of glitter or anything like that. There's several different things like gilding flakes. And then the same goes for this one, only of course the nib is smaller. It's more like a marker, like a Sharpie here in the US, and it works in the same manner. Nice glue. What I would suggest if you're going to use this one, because it has a little more water in it, is to let it get tacky before you apply any other embellishment to it. Okay, so to get us started, I'm going to go ahead and apply my solid panels to the sides. This is best applied when your papers are flat. It makes it a whole lot easier, and as you can tell, I've also added the double-sided adhesive that I had referred to the borders of this. It makes it much easier to allow this to have an initial tack. Now, to these pieces, these decorative pieces that I'm going to be adding here, I'm also going to be adding this decorative layer, and this does have double-sided adhesive. So I'm going to grab that, and I'm just going to gently pry this away, and I might have to use my fingernails or my little pokey tool here to kind of push away the pieces that I don't need. And that way I can layer this on top of my decorative pieces here. want you to note the way that you're going to add this layer onto this hexagon is that because this will be the lid, you should apply your adhesive right where the paper creases and then apply the edge of the hexagon onto that fold. And this is going to ensure that this paper is actually adhering on the what will be essentially the top outer portion of the box. And believe it or not, this is going to make a difference and make it easier so that when you close this box, it can layer on top of the other portion, which will be the bottom of the box. What I've done is added these each piece on the side and then burnished it with my bone folder, as you see there, and then removed the backing to the double-sided adhesive on the edges, and that way I can meet each one of the edges at a 90-degree angle, and it's that simple. So I'll continue on adding all of these pieces until I'm done. Went all the way around and then kept burnishing, and then at the very last piece here I just wanted to make sure that that could be nice and straight. So once I ensured that it was, I could go ahead and glue those edges one to another. And this is going to be important because you're decorating the border of that outer edge or outer rim, I'm sorry, of the bottom of the box. Because there are two pieces of paper layered one to another that are decorative, that creates a little bit of bulk. So notice the difference. Now I'm actually placing the edge panel there onto the inside of that box. So you see how I'm placing that border there? So that's now on the inside, not on the outside. And I hope that makes sense, but that's going to give a little bit of the difference there in the size of what the lid and the bottom will be like. And I'm going to do it in the same fashion, applying all of the pieces to each one of the sides first, and then I'll meet up the side tabs so that I can create the bottom of the box. This was an easier way to make sure that they could be nice and straight. And now I'll remove the backing and lift up those pieces. And of course you can definitely reinforce it with the wet glue, as I had mentioned before. And this is going to make it for an easier and quicker assembly. Okay, so here is the result. It is an absolutely beautiful box that can be used for many types of gifts. It has plenty of room on the inside. I think this measured about 5 inches wide. And of course, you can see the shimmer and all the panels on the exterior bottom part of this box and also on the top, thanks to that gorgeous holographic effect of the specialty card from Tonic Studios. And then the little shapes on the outside also look almost like little butterflies. So I took advantage, of course, of the crystal Nuvo drops from Tonic Studios to just add a couple of little pearlescent drops onto the top, and that was it. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Of course, you can reach out to me with any questions. But as I always say, I hope that you can be inspired and be blessed. And thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.